Welcome back to another video on the history of radio in a specific country. This week and next week, we will be covering the history of radio in Africa, but I will only be covering about 10 or so countries in Africa, as I don't know how many places in total have radio. But today, we are looking at one of the poorest countries in the world, Burundi. It is one of the countries with the lowest GDP per capita. It is also extremely impoverished, and the people there are often subjected to horrendous living conditions, and yet, they still somehow have the ability to operate radio stations in one of the poorest countries in the world. Radio broadcasting in Burundi began in 1959, when the Belgian colonial government established Radio Burundi. After independence in 1962, Radio Burundi became the national broadcaster. In the early years, Radio Burundi was primarily a government mouthpiece. However, in the 1990s, it began to open up to more diverse voices. In 1993, the first private radio station in Burundi, Radio Isanganiro, was launched. Radio has played a significant role in Burundian history. It has been used to inform and educate the population, and it has also been used to mobilize people for political and social change. During the Burundian Civil War, 1993 to 2005, radio was used by both sides of the conflict to spread propaganda and to incite violence. However, radio also played a role in promoting peace and reconciliation. In recent years, radio has become increasingly popular in Burundi. There are now over 20 private radio stations in the country, and radio is the primary source of news and information for most Burundians. Radio has also played an important role in promoting economic development in Burundi. Radio stations have helped to promote literacy, to educate farmers about new agricultural techniques, and to provide information about health and sanitation. Radio is a powerful tool that can be used for good or for evil. It is important to use radio responsibly and to ensure that it is used to promote peace, development, and democracy in Burundi. Here are some of the key milestones in the history of radio in Burundi. 1959, Radio Burundi is established by the Belgian colonial government. 1962, Burundi gains independence, and Radio Burundi becomes the national broadcaster. 1990s, Radio Burundi begins to open up to more diverse voices. 1993, the first private radio station in Burundi, Radio Isanganiro, is launched. 1993 to 2005, radio plays a significant role in the Burundian Civil War, being used by both sides of the conflict to spread propaganda and incite violence. Recent years, radio has become increasingly popular in Burundi, and there are now over 20 private radio stations in the country. Radio is the primary source of news and information for most Burundians. Radio has also played an important role in promoting economic development in Burundi.